Hi guys! Today we're going to have tea-chat, talking the things over. Just Laura and me about New Year resolutions, how to be better in New Year, how to change your life, how to be better and maybe compare yourself only with your previous self. And of course, learn many idioms. The topic for today is make envy work for you. So we are jumping into a very interesting conversation. You know, everybody believes that you need to be drop dead gorgeous all the time. Everybody loves to be eye candy and they love to have honey into their ears. Then everybody tells them, you know, you are beautiful, you are gorgeous, you are fantastic.
We say a yes man. Yes, oh yes you are.
Is it temporary or permanent? Laura, what do you think about beauty?
I think it's more important to invest your time in internal beauty because it's going to be with you the rest of your life. We all are going to get older, we're all going to get wrinkles, and that youth beauty is going to fade us, and it's temporary, but the internal, the character, is what's going to be there forever. So yes, it's okay to want to be beautiful and to have beautiful things, but you should spend more time on the internal, I think, your character.
Investing into your personal development. Yes, Laura, I'm of the same opinion. And you know, off top of my head, I remember Marilyn Monroe. You know, she was really beautiful. All men fainted when they saw her, you know. And we just don't know that she went through many surgeries. Her life was really difficult. She was abused with drugs and many other issues. So I don't think all of us want the same lifeline as she did.
And she basically killed herself in the end. She was so unhappy.
You see how she ended up.
And most people who are very famous or very beautiful, you know, we look at them and we say, wow, but really, you know, a lot of their times they're so worried about keeping up appearances that they're actually very unhappy people.
You know what? You just took the words out of my mouth. So I really wanted to tell this, that try not to follow somebody else's dream. Try to be better and look at yourself and compare yourself to yourself in the previous year. So also I wanted to mention that for us, it's always, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. We, you know, try to judge somebody else's family. We try to convince ourselves that, you know, oh my gosh, you know, Joshua lives better than I do. They have better family. They have perfect family because they have, you know, twins in the family, or they have siblings. They have a brother and a sister, or this is the ideal family when you have a girl and a boy in your family. Who told this? You know, you can always be happy with kids and without kids. So it depends. If God gave you 5 kids, you just can be happy with 5 kids. If God saw that you are more dedicated to someone else and you don't have kids, just be happy where you are. Just observe your life and see at what point you are and be happy with what you have.
And usually when we compare ourselves to somebody else, that always leads to feeling bad about ourselves. And we should never compare ourselves to somebody else because there's only one of you. Can you imagine what the world would be like if there was only one kind of flower? But there's thousands and thousands of different kinds of flowers. We all need to be our individual self because we make the world better that way. You know, if there was 5 Julias, I mean, Julia wouldn't be that special. If there was 5 Lauras, I wouldn't be that special. We're all very, very different. And when we compare ourselves, it actually reduces the activity in our brain and we kind of become stupider. When we're thankful for what we do have, it activates a larger part of our brain and we actually are a little bit smarter because we're using more of our brain.
What about our green-eyed monster at work? Everybody knows this. Career values, you know, which substitute family values, and people are constantly striving for success, and they hate their employer or their boss, or they try to have, you know, great competition and be competitive at work. Okay, so let's take a look from another angle. These people could be great motivators for you. You just can observe how your boss achieved great results and look at what he or she sacrificed. I'm pretty sure, because I'm the boss and I sacrifice with plenty of things, believe it or not, but sometimes not being a boss, but just an employee, you could be happier than I am, because you don't work constantly from Monday till Sunday, you don't work 24 hours per day, so you can also observe and see that every cloud has a silver lining. Yes, maybe you don't gain and you don't earn so much money, but you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time to stop and look through pink glasses, and you can observe and you can smell the flowers, and you can take a glance and take a look at the world. And as British people say, you just stop to look at flowers, and to observe the world, to smell the roses.
Smell the roses is what we say in American English.
It's another idiomatic expression. Just stop to smell the roses. So sometimes, believe it or not, I have no time to stop and smell the roses.
Another thing that we need to understand is that each one of us is different. We have what's called a shape. We have our spiritual being, we have our heart's desire, we have the abilities, the things that we've learned, we have our personality, and then we have our experiences. And all of those come together to make each one of us very, very different. And when we see somebody else and we see something in them we like, we can say, let me look at that character piece. Do I want that? Is it going to fit good into my life? Because sometimes we can admire it in somebody else and not want it necessarily in our life because it doesn't fit our personality. So we have to learn to be thankful for who we are and be the best person that we can be, instead of running after and trying to be like someone else, because you don't have the same DNA, you don't have the same shape, you're never going to be like them. So you're chasing a dream that you can never achieve. You were made special. So you need to focus on how special you are and just take those little bit of pieces that go with who you are and make a better you.
My advice is that if you envy a colleague, or if you really loved her presentation or her class or how she delivered the lecture, just come to her, approach to her or him and ask and tell, I was wondering, what about your class? How did you prepare for the class? Could you just give me some pieces of advice? How should I prepare for my classes? And compliment this person. Just come and say, it was outrageous, it was brilliant. And you will feel a relief, you will feel better. Because if you tell people how great they are, if you compliment people, if you tell them thank you, you have the heart of gold. And your life becomes easier and you stop this envy.
Well, you also become smarter. Remember what I said, when you have that thankful attitude, more of your brain is activated. When you're envious and you're critical and look at her, it actually reduces the brain activity and you become stupid. So if you want to be smarter, you really need to be thankful. And there's a lot of recent research that has been done now that shows this, as they've done brain scans of people who are thankful versus those people who are critical and not happy with what they have, and there's a really big difference.
So ultimately, to cut the long story short,
because I could talk forever on this is part of my background,
let's talk about tips for preventing envy. Okay, so tip number 1. When you compare yourself, it's natural, but may cause a lot of unhappiness. Focus on your own performance. Compare yourself with your previous achievements only.
And that's what we were talking about. When you always compare yourself to somebody else, you're always going to feel bad about yourself. You're either going to be proud, I'm better than them, which is not good on you, or you're going to say, well, I'm not as good. Stop comparing. Be the best person you can be.
Tip number 2. Cultivate gratitude. Envy shines a spotlight on what you think you're missing. Remind yourself of your blessings. List your talent. Review your success stories.
And being thankful just makes you a better person, but also people want to be around you. Because those people who are very critical and always biting, and it's like, oh, here they come again, you want to go the other direction. But somebody who encourages you, who's thankful, you want to be around them.
Tip number 3. View others realistically. All of us face hardships and disappointments.
Nobody is perfect. you know, and we need to remember that about ourselves. We are not perfect and it's okay. And other people are not perfect, and give them mercy, because we want to treat other people the way we want to be treated. So if you treat somebody bad, it's kind of like we have an idiom, what you sow, you reap, what you plant, you harvest. If you plant thankfulness, you're going to get it back around. If you plant criticalness and all that, you're going to get it back around. So what do you want to grow in your emotional garden?
Tip number 4 is about mentoring. Teach someone, find yourself a future teacher, and be taught.
We all should be mentoring other people, and we should be mentored. It doesn't matter how old you are or what position you hold. When you stop giving into other people's lives and stop accepting it and learning into your own life, you kind of die just like a river, and you get stagnant and stale and not pleasant to be around.
Tip number 5, think long term. It's reassuring to consider how resentment fades with time. And eventually you will stop longing for your neighbor's boat.
Mm-hmm.
And one day you won't need it at all.
You have to be realistic. I want a boat, but do I live around water? Do I want the maintenance costs? So sometimes we think, oh, that would be great to have, but we don't think about the real cost of it. And so it's better to think long term. Does it really fit into my life? I can admire it. Oh, that would be great, but I know it's not good for me.
Tip number 6. Celebrate others' victories. Most of all, take pleasure in the good things that happen to others. It's an effective way of stave off envy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you have a great victory in your life, you want people to say, hey, great job. Wow, I really like it. But the person who says, well, I could have done that better, you don't want to be around them. Well, turn that table. What kind of friend are you? Are you going to rejoice and be happy in the victories of other people? And they're going to want to be around you? Or are you going to be that critical person that they're going to go, oh, I don't want to tell them?
The last but not the least is tip number 7. Dissolve tensions by being extra kind and generous. You'll safeguard your relationships and your own peace of mind.
We have an idiom that says a quiet word turns away wrath. Wrath is like anger. So whenever somebody's angry, if you just keep that kind of calm, quiet tone, it helps the situation. Most of the time when somebody's angry, they had an expectation that maybe wasn't met, and they want to give away their negative energy. And you have a choice. You don't have to take their negative energy. You know, you can say, wow, I feel bad for you, you know, but not take it upon yourself.
So please, if one day you will have such feeling when you turn green, even a little bit green, from envy, or you can't help but feel a twinge of jealousy, rewatch this video again.
And be a positive person.
Yes. So I wish you love, happiness, be sunshine for somebody else's, in somebody else's life, and strive for success. Not envy other people, but try to improve yourself in a better direction. Subscribe to our channel, because our next videos will be even more and more important, and you will learn more and more idiomatic expressions. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas to you all. We love you.
Bye-bye. We could say like this.